What is up, guys? This is Nightmare, and today I am bringing you the 7th episode of the Let's Play for The Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. So far we have gone all the way around the west coast of the islands. We have done this delve already. I just haven't finished it because of the boss, but I've been through it and picked up Sky Shard, and we are going to continue on with the quest we are on now, moving towards the cavern all the way on the other side of the map, which we are supposed to talk to some wise woman. So let's get right into it. So there's going to be a lot of running, and then hopefully I get to the main quest pretty soon, but for the most part I'm going to try to talk about some builds that I'm working on. So if you haven't seen already, I released the updated version for Nocturnal, which is the Hunting's Rage marksman combo for the Stamina Nightblade. That set is, or that build is a CP campaign builds. However, you can play it some inside of Battlegrounds and on CP. However, it just doesn't perform as well as other builds do. I am currently working on a new build that I've been playing today, and it is for Battlegrounds. It uses one proc set, which is Viper, and it also uses Marksman, so you guys can look forward to that build, and it is very strong. 5 pieces Marksman, 5 pieces Hunting, 1 Kina, or 5 Marksman, 5 Viper, 1 Kina, excuse me. Well, look at this guy here. This guy's pretty cool. But anyways, so that's going to be that build, which you guys can expect to see that soon with gameplay. That's going to be the main build I'll be using for now until I get all my other builds made and updated. Going back to the Nocturnal builds, it was made to my attention that you cannot get the Marksman Greatsword anymore. So if you want a correction for this, and I'll probably bring this up again in future videos, you can still run that build, and you can, instead of using a Marksman bow and Greatsword, use a Hunting's Rage Greatsword and bow, and then just take off a Hunting's Rageman bow, or a Marksman armor piece, excuse me, and that'll give you the same set armor set combo setup or build, whatever you want to call it. So that is the correction for that, and like I said, I'll bring that up later for anyone who is interested. So I'm gonna clear these guys out just for fun. I'm also thinking of other builds to do other than the Nightblade. I'm trying to farm sets, just general sets that I know I'm gonna be using, like Bone Pirate and Viper. I still need a few sets of those. Also a couple of crafted sets. Mostly looking at Eternal Hunt, since that is a very good sustain set that I want to use. I'm seeing a lot of medium armor builds and Stamina Nightblades, running around with that. It's actually working quite well too. Helps keep them alive defensively, and it gives sustain because of the stamina recovery. So I want to get that set made at some point. Also, the hunt set I'm gonna be farming, which is another sustain set that comes from Maelstrom, and that is for the Warden because it is pet oriented. Next off, I wanted to talk about my Stamina Dragonite. So my Stamina Dragonite has always been really my main character, to be honest, even though my Stamina Nightblade is the most popular and the one I play the most now. My Stamina DK was always my main character, but I've never really liked the playstyle because of Uppercut. I've never really liked Uppercut as an ability. It's not consistent, hits hard, but the charge time on it is just something I don't like. And I played around with Sword and Board a little bit, but again, wasn't really my style with the light attack puncture bash. It does work and it's strong, but I don't want to play something that I don't enjoy, and if it's not my playstyle. So what I'm currently looking at is a dual wield and 2H setup, much like how the meta Stamplar builds are right now. They don't use a gap closer and stuff like that. Mine will probably still use a gap closer, and I will probably still have a ranged ability with the dual wields throwing knife, or shrouded dagger, whatever it's called. Not quite sure yet on that. I'm trying to just, wasn't really theory crafting, just thinking of other things to do when I was working earlier today. So I was thinking of Red Mountain. Now, Red Mountain would be a good ability because it's fire damage, and Dragonites get a couple extra % damage for AoE fire damage, which I believe Red Mountain is. I have to look into it a little bit more, since I haven't really looked into it much at all. But the Red Mountain set would be an AoE fire damage, which is like 50%, I believe. I could be wrong. On weapon damage abilities, and it can proc every 2 seconds. So with the dual wields, my main damage would come from weapon abilities. So it's actually going to be proccing more than Viper, and it hits about more than Viper too. So if I get lucky, I could get 2 Red Mountain hits procs in like 2 seconds, which is very strong. As for sets that I want to run with the Red Mountain, I'm not quite sure yet. I kind of been looking into running the Clever Alchemist set. Just the reason for that, I can drink a potion, get big damage, and then jump in and burst people down. Other thing is that I want to run the new set that I saw, which is also medium armor. This is going to be a medium armor build, by the way. The new set I saw doing Battlegrounds today, the Cowards set, which is supposed to be like you sprint and you get major protection, major expedition. The reason why I really would like that on a dual wield 2H bar is because now I'm not getting the dodge roll and then major expedition from the bow. If I wanted major expedition, I would have to use quick cloak. And I don't think I want to use that ability with that build. So I'll still be able to get major expedition, it just gets activated whenever I sprint, which would be when I would get once major expedition in the first place. And this is also good because at first when I first saw that set, I thought that set's gonna suck, but really looking at it, it's kind of strong because with medium armor, you're not gonna just stand there and tank. You kind of want to line of sight, and you kind of want to kite. And while you're kiting, you can sprint, and sprinting is going to give you take less damage with major protection. So it's actually a good set, and this would be a sustain set because it gives 2 recovery bonuses, and then it doesn't really do anything for damage. So I would have to combo that with the damage set, which would be my Red Mountain. And then talking about Red Mountain again, the combo I would be using with the Dragonite would be Take Flight, which is also an AoE, into Steel Tornado. And Steel Tornado is a weapon ability, which is AoE, hitting tons of targets and tons of chance to proc the Red Mountain damage for even more huge AoE. And then for single target, I would use either Rapid Strikes or the Dagger. For the hard CC, I can use the Earth and Heart ability, which encases, I believe it's called encase, but it puts them in stone. So that's the theory crafting behind that, what I've done so far. So I think it should work either way I use it, with Clever Alchemist or with Cowards. If I don't use Cowards for the Stamina Medium Armor DK, I'll probably use it in another build similar to that. For the Stamplar, I still, my playstyle of choice for the Stamplar is what my infection build is. 2H, still not using the uppercut, instead I'm using Javelin, and then I use the fighting jabs as my mage damage source, and that's a buff and tons of damage and all that. So I love that setup. So I've been thinking of armor combos to use. So I may use Viper with that build also, and then I'll combo like Viper with something else, so like Bone Pirate or something. And with that, we got a level up, and we're just about at our quest location. But I'll just go over a few like medium armor setups I've been thinking of. So like Viper with Selene set, the 2-piece monster set that summons the bear, plus the Eternal Hunt, or I can do Viper with a 1-piece monster set, which would be Kingdom or Krog, and then 5-piece would be Bone Pirate. I can't do a 2-piece monster set with that combo because I need Bone Pirate on both bars, but I can have the Viper on 1 bar. So I still need to think of that a little bit on how to do it, but Bone Pirate has to be on both bars, pretty much. Other combos, Bone Pirate, Eternal Hunt, oh, Marksman. So I've already got the Marksman and Viper setup, which I'm actually enjoying. I was kind of baiting it at first, not thinking it would be that good, but it's actually very strong. I was, like I said, doing Battlegrounds earlier, and it's performing great. And I just feel like Marksman is such a great underrated set because it gives that reduced cost. And I don't even have to engage at full HP to, or full stamina to fight. And usually, I'm engaging into fights with half stamina and just being able to spam my abilities because of reduced cost. Recovery is working with me, and then I can heavy attack too, which is going to help get my stamina back higher. Usually I will rather engage into a fight and then heavy attack to get back stamina than to not engage in a fight and just let my stamina recover. So the 3 sustain sets, Bone Pirate, Eternal Hunt, and Marksman, and then the Hunt set is specialized for my Warden because of pets. So those are my 4 sustain set choices. As for damage sets, Hunting's Rage is always going to be a great set. More focused on... I'm not going to do this quest. I'm just going to explore this cave real quick, and I'll probably come back to it later while I discuss builds. But for damage, Hunting's Rage, like I said, is always good, and then you can wear it in heavy or in light, or a medium, not light, which is probably what I'll be doing for the Warden because that's what I want to do, switch between medium and heavy armor. And then for non-CP, Viper is very strong because it's proc set. Proc sets are just performing well in non-CP. I haven't really been thinking of any other damage sets. The Red Mountain set, of course, was one of them, but that's more gonna pretty much only gonna work for the Dragonite. That can have that. I don't really care for it. Oh, and then another sustained set would be the Coward set. I don't think I want to go in here yet. I'm just gonna explore this area. I know I mostly focus on stamina builds. Majority of the builds I play are stamina, that's just what I prefer, but I do have Magicka builds too. They're just not that good or not creative, or they're not my own builds, so that's why I don't make build videos on them. I'm not gonna copy someone else's build, that's just not what I do. I'll use other people's builds if I don't know what's really meta or not really strong, but for the most part, I use my own builds. For my Magic Dragonite though, I've actually been theory crafting something, and I'm gonna like this once I get all this armor farmed. And I actually pulled a sharpened Inferno Staff of this set today, which is gonna work perfectly. It's the Night Slayer set. the one where you do a heavy attack and you do 9% of their max health as oblivion damage, and oblivion damage goes through shields. So my idea for this is on a Magic Dragonite doing just my main source of damage is Inferno heavy attacks. So this is gonna just give me sustain naturally, so I really shouldn't run out of... Okay, so great, this set does reduce armor. Perfect. I was hoping it would. Poison damage too, cool. Okay, so as I was saying, we get the bear. Nice. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So the heavy attacks would give me back Magicka, and it's gonna be my main source of damage. Or yeah, Magicka. So for that build, I'll be able to run 2 damaging sets. Probably gonna run the Night Slayer set, which is the Oblivion damage. And then I can also run the ability that gives me increased heavy attack damage. Comboing that with, I'm thinking right now Elegant, because Elegant increases heavy attack, or light and heavy attack damage by 20%. So the theme is going to be just tons of heavy attack damage, and then being ranged also with heavy attacks. I don't plan on using the whip at all. I'll run a restless staff on the back bar and use like Healing Ward and Harness Magicka, and then Igneous Shields, of course. And then I'll also run Flappers, Dragonfire Scales, and that's pretty much gonna give me my defensive from anyone who's ranged, especially against sorcerers, which there are lots of sorcerers right now. And then I would run Crushing Shock too, because it's an interrupt. So it's not going to be a stun, but anyone who's rezzing, I can stop the res. I don't have to run up and bash. I can just interrupt. I don't need to run Force Pulse, because Force Pulse is usually like main damage source, but I'm not running that as a main damage source, so I'm going to run Crushing Shock instead for the interrupts. And then in case for the stun, which is also ranged. So it's going to be a ranged focus, light armor, Magic Dragonite. Only using my Magicka for like the interrupts and then for heals. So that should be fun. I've been thinking of like a creative Magicka Nightblade builds, but it's really hard to do for me, I guess, because I want to try to make one that's similar to a Stamina Nightblade, in the sense that I'm using concealed weapons and all that stuff. But it's really hard to do. Because light armor, you're just super squishy. Heavy armor, it just doesn't give you enough sustain. So I don't really know what to do for that. This looks like the event. This is a pretty cool public event. Oh shit. That guy's AFK, so that really sucks. He was like clearing this shit for me. Try to do some heavy attacks here. There we go. Nice. Defiler's Arm Cops. What set is this? Critical damage. Okay, that's the Hunger Spews set. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I may make a build for it though. High crit chance builds. Um, this looks like we're right behind the mountain, huh? Yeah, it's cool. It's probably as close as you can get to the mountain. Alright, nice. That was really fun. All the meteors raining down and stuff. Or not meteors, just rocks flying out of the mountain. Iron Astronaut, those are cool. I personally really like the bear because usually you want to like animation cancel stuff, but there's like no animation on your person. The ultimate is just another it's the bear doing the animation, so you're still able to do your own thing, which allows you to combo abilities very well. Or I mean, like, try to get your dive or your cutting dive to hit at the same time as the ultimate, which works very effectively. So in a sense, you can't animation cancel it, but there's no animation to begin with. What is over here? So yeah, I think I've discussed what I was gonna do with this stamina warden before. I said how I wanted to run the hunt set, and how that would work is gonna be my sustain set, which gives like over 1,000 stamina every 5 seconds, which is kind of like Black Rose because Black Rose was about I don't remember, a little bit over 1,000 every 4 seconds. So it's not as much, but this is also going to give me some healing too, which is kind of a low point in this build since I'm not going to be running rally. At least not for now. This new shock though does a lot of damage. Stamina morph, lots of AoE damage. And I'm dying. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Well, I want to just go to Wave Shrine anyways. That's fine. I'll probably come back to explore this area later. I just want to get on with this quest line. Which is... Okay, so did I run up this way? I don't know where I'm at right now. Oh, there's the Sky Shard. Okay, so this worked out in my favor then. Nice. There are lots of ads. Oh man, there's even more than I thought. Try to focus on doing my AoEs here. Heals. Oh, I might die again. Oh, I didn't have the bear summons. I guess I gotta remember to summon that, huh? What is killing me? Okay, there we go. Oh, one more. What is this? 6 health Tailor's Shears. Huh, so 6 of these give you a costume. Or 7. What? Okay, so you need 7 pieces to get the 6th health robe costume. That makes since... Uh-oh. Okay, more spawned in. I guess I should have cleared my inventory quick and picked that up. Oh, that might be another thing I need to look out for with the shock ability. Is if I get feared, I'll face the other way, and my, what's it called? The more subterranean assault. Subterranean assault, yeah. So if I get feared, that's gonna get moved the other way. So that may be something you guys also want to look out for. And I'm gonna run across here before I get into combat, so I don't get knocked off. Will my bear follow? Okay, there's my bear. Okay, so if I can second combo here. No, okay, I got kind of stunned, so that's okay. Alright, and we get the Sky Shard. That lightning death royalty down there. I think I'm gonna screenshot this, dude. This is pretty cool. Fit screenshots. Come on, PlayStation. There we go. Okay, and let us move on. I honestly don't know where I'm going right now. This place is pretty huge, and the map doesn't show everything at the same time. I don't know my way out. And if I was to get me unstuck, then it would just take me to the Wayne Shrine inside here. This place is a maze. I feel like everyone's trying to probably figure their way out. Forgotten Depths? That sounds like it's even deeper. Okay, I'll just follow the quest line then. It'll tell me where to go. How to get out of here. Okay. I don't think I have really anything else to discuss about for builds. Is there like a boss here or something? So really I just hope that this Warden build is as strong as I hope it will be. Because I really want to do something creative like this. I don't want to do a 2H build. I'm seeing lots of people doing like uppercut, crit rush uppercut, and then either dive or subterranean assault with reverse slice and rally. So it looks just like every other stamina build, pretty much, except you have your free flex spot on the 2H bar, so they just use either subterranean assault or dive. And then for the bow bar is like poison injection, evasion, vigor, and then 2 abilities, so like swiftness, falcon swiftness, and and then the Betty Netch for sustain. Is something spawning here? Maybe not, okay. Well, maybe, I don't know what's going on. Well, I'm not gonna stick around and find out. So if you guys don't know, this build is gonna be a double bow bar. If you haven't watched any of the other build parts of the series, which I definitely advise you guys doing, because it's a lot of fun. But 2 bow bar setup. I'm getting major brutality from the Betty, the green Betty Netch, whatever it's called. Sustain is also coming from the Betty Netch. Heals are going to come from green balance and vigor. And then my hunt set is also giving me heals. And then my animal companions is also giving me heals. Because whenever they get unsummoned or whatever, I get a little bit of healing, which is... Even when I use dive, as soon as it goes away, the bird, I get healing. Yeah, that's hitting pretty hard, huh? Yeah, that AoE hits really hard. Subterranean Assault. 6k. It's hitting a lot harder than Cutting Dive, which I guess since it's like a 3-second delay. That's why. But like Cutting Dive, I feel like just doesn't hit that hard because it also has that delay to it. These things are just freaking ugly. So some other things that I've been noticing with like Subterranean Assault, just playing around with it, is like, let's say I'm disengaging from a fight, so I want to roll dodge, and then I can hit Subterranean Assault, and then turn on them, and then boom. Turn, and then the Subterranean Assault hits facing the correct way. Like this. So running past these guys, once they're aggroed, they're on me. This is like for PvP, by the way. So I dodge roll, or whatever, I'm trying to get away, I turn, and then boom, I blow them up. Being able to go defensive to offensive very quickly. I'm gonna avoid this fight. I'm gonna try to just get back to the quest line here. This may be a little bit a longer episode. I've been trying to keep them to like an hour or less. This one will probably end up being longer than that. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. I've definitely been enjoying doing the quest line. Being able to like roleplay again. I haven't done stuff like this in a very long time, like I said. If you have any questions about pretty much anything, like feature builds, or if you have comments on what you run, or any suggestions on what I should run, or your input on what I do, please let me know down in the comment section below. I do appreciate criticism, and I always listen to criticism, but sometimes like toxic criticism is just too much for me, so if you're just gonna talk shit, please just keep that to yourself, because nobody really wants to hear that crap. However, if you want to tell me that I suck and you have reasons behind it, and if I agree, then yeah, sure, that's fine, because like I said, I'm not the best player. You got ways for me to help me get better, like someone the other day told me that you can cloak and then vigor or rally, and then you're gonna get that guaranteed crit on that. So I've been using that. I believe Chris told me that. So thanks, Chris. Alright, let's move on to the rest of the quest. That rhymes. Okay, and we got another whatchamajigger crafting station up here. Yeah, Christopher told me that you can cloak then heal. So I appreciate that. I actually never used that before. Never really thought of getting more heals and medium armor with using cloak. And I got another level up, which is nice. I think I'm gonna morph fungal growth. Yep, this is the one I want. Soothing spores because it's a stamina morph. This is gonna be my burst heal. Cost stamina, allies near you are healed for more, so that should also apply to me. Less than 8 meters away, the heal is 15% stronger. So yeah, I'm gonna grab Soothing Spores. I think it's the only stamina morph of the healing from here. Oh, and then Lotus Flower. I was debating on using Lotus Flower or not because it's gonna give me heals on light or heavy attacks. Embrace the Lotus Blessing, causing light attacks to restore health, which is quite a bit of health. I may have to end up using that. And then I want the Major Mending passive. Glacial Presence, what is this? I don't know if I'm going to be using this or not. Yeah, it's not really all that strong. Minor Protection with Ice Fortress may be good for the heavy armor setup. And let me do medium armor passive. Get some better sustain. Alright. So what you guys can be expecting from the channel here soon are a lot more build videos once I get all my armor sets farmed. Whoa, hello there. Volatile Familiar. Oh, there's a player here. I was wondering why that was all by itself. But once I get all the armor sets farmed up, you guys will be able to see all the different combinations, and then each combination on like each class, and etc. Because for the most part, each setup will be like used for my Nightblade, possibly my Dragonite, depending on what I do for it. The Stamina Stork, all that thing. All the sets I'm farming are for stamina builds. So there's like all the sets I discussed earlier, the sustain sets and then the damage sets, all the possible combinations with those, and then all the best ones that are working the best will be specific to each class. Which class performs the best with which combo of sets. And then for like more unique builds, like the Red Mountain set for the Dragonite, possibly using automatons. I haven't really farmed that at all, but that'll be for like Stamplar. And then the hunt set is specific to my Warden. Alright, so we're finally here at the quest, rescue the wise woman. So let's go ahead and do that. And we are back to the quest. Alright, let's focus on some questing now. Okay, she's going into the cavern. And I believe she had something to do with knowing the guy who took the staff, and the staff is being used as a weapon to steal the power from Vivek. The staff is from Sothasil, and Sothasil created Clockwork City, which is where the Halls of Fabrication, the new trial, takes place. Hopefully I'm getting all that right. It's a lot of information. I'm trying to remember all of it off the top of my head. This is a really cool cavern. Oh, this is the statue of Aurora, or something like that. One of the Daedric princes, but she's like one of the load screens. That statue.
It feels strange to talk to an outlander in such a sacred place, but the Queen of the Night Sky insists. I need to render judgment on an important claim, and she says you can help me reach the correct decision.
This is about Chodala and the Neverine, right?
Words of truth from the mouth of an outlander. Remarkable. The Red Exiles and a few others believe that Chodala is the Neraverian. He's convinced them, but not me. I came here to consider my options. I fear a bloodbath if I oppose his claim.
Isn't there a way to prove he's not the Neraverian?
Perhaps, but I must remain impartial. If someone else reveals the flaws in Chodala's claims by comparing him to the failed incarnates, that might do the trick.
The failed incarnates?
We thought the incarnates were possessed by the spirit of Nerevar, but each had a critical flaw that made them destined to fail to fulfill the prophecy. Their spirits reside here. Yes, you should speak to the incarnates.
Zura, not Arbora.
I see Azura's wisdom now.
How do I talk to the spirits of the incarnates?
Take this pouch of blessed grave dust. Sprinkle a pinch upon the bones of the incarnates to call forth their spirits. Return to Aldrin after you have learned all you can. Perhaps we can curb Chodala's ambitions before they lead us to war. We need knowledge to defeat Chodala, Outlander. Listen well to what the failed incarnates have to say.
Okay, so these guys are actually right here, so I'll go do that real quick. Grave dust. Talk to these guys.
Once I was the hope of my people, but then my claim was proven false. Now I wait, and I hope for the Neraverian's return. State your question, Outlander, and I shall do as Azura urges.
They decided you weren't the Neraverian. Why?
To fulfill the prophecy, I followed a path of blood and war. In the end, my path became a road that led nowhere, and I was cast down from my lofty spot. Take my scroll, and help the wise woman understand the futility of a senseless war.
Okay. Oh, that's right. My bear is gray. The other ones are brown, but mine is the white one because I have the addition, right? Special. Yeah, the slate gray summon bear. Okay, another grave.
The Neraverian remains a promise unfulfilled, and I am as guilty of prideful posturing as every other failed incarnate that occupies this hall. Ask your question and let's be done with this, Outlander.
What ended your quest to become the Neraverian?
The Neraverian must listen as well as proclaim. I refused to accept wise counsel, which led to the doom of my tribe and the end of my quest to embody the spirit of Nerevar. Take my scroll and remind the wise woman that wisdom ignored is ignorance.
Okay. Next grave, which is the last one.
We are the failed incarnates, the Ashlanders who proudly proclaimed themselves to be the Neraverian, but were found wanting. The Lady of Dawn and Dusk urged us to cooperate. So ask your question.
What flaw made you fail to fulfill the prophecy?
Take my scroll and help the wise woman see the lie of unbridled power. I thought myself the reborn Nerevar, for I was the strongest, most powerful warrior in all the land. But power alone won't save.
Alright.
Mortal,
Gotta talk too much.
speak.
Now we talk to Azura.
I foresaw your usefulness before you even set foot in Vardenfell. Now comes a test that will challenge your ability to separate truth from lies. You must convince the tribes that Chodola is not the Neravarian.
I'm still a little confused on what the Neravarian is exactly. I probably should have asked some of the quest givers.
Doversee's wisdom outshines most other mortals. She recognizes the futility of Chodola's claim, if she rebuffs him, however. The tribes will turn on each other, and blood will flow. The staff, Sunra, it makes Chodola confident, reckless.
The staff is the source of Chodola's power.
Your instincts serve you well. Chodola's path took a dark turn. However, my sight clouds when I look too closely. Sothasil built Sunra, but he did not create it with this vile purpose in mind. You must act on my behalf, and Vivek's.
I'll do what I ask. What you ask.
Then go. Return to Aldrun and help the wise woman reveal the falsehood of Chodola's claim. And let Saren assist you. She is my champion and a trusted friend of all Ashlanders.
Alright. Talk to Saren. Where is she at? Okay, so back here. I'm gonna fast travel, since I've already walked this way and seen everything. It's not a new area to go to. So originally I thought like the quest was gonna be about this meteor crashing into the city. I guess I'm just really stupid or something. When I saw a rock floating kind of like aiming towards the city, I thought like it was gonna destroy the city or whatever. But earlier when I was doing Battlegrounds, I looked up into the sky and saw this rock just freaking floating there, so I guess I don't know anything. Does it always just float there, or what? If you guys could tell me down in the comment section below, that would be great.
Thank the moon and star. You've returned.
Okay.
The wise woman returned from the Cavern of the Incarnate and went right into Scar to meet with the tribes. Chodola's in there too, about to be named the Neravarian. Tell me you came back with something to stop my brother's rise to power.
I spoke to some of the incarnates, and they gave me these scrolls.
Of course. Use the tales of the failed incarnates to counter Chodola's arguments. That's brilliant. Well, except for one problem.
Problem?
An outlander has no status in the council. The Ashlanders won't listen to a word you say. Someone else has to present the arguments. Someone they trust. I suppose that means I have to challenge my brother. With your help, of course.
Alright, let's go dispute your brother's claim.
Meet me inside.
Now we are going into the skeleton of the mud crab. That big freaking crab. Oh, wasn't finished reading that. That sucks. Something about emperor crabs. Ruled Vardenfell or something like that. So there must have been more of these big crabs all over the place, but why is this the only one we can see? For the skeletons of all the other ones.
I'm disappointed in you, dear sister.
Oh, there he is.
I shall hear your arguments and render my decision.
Even the Outlander can see that I'm the most powerful Ash Khan. My strength alone proves that I am the Neravarian.
Chodola puts forth his great strength as proof of his claim. Give me the scroll that discounts such a trait for the Nerevarine.
Oh, this is one of those remember those things and then pick the right one kind of thing. I have no clue, so let's do this one.
That makes sense. I'll try that. This doesn't look right.
Oops.
That's not right. Try another scroll. Of course.
Best you can do.
I don't think this will work.
Okay.
Be careful.
Well, at least
Yes.
they let you give the
Incarnate,
right one.
appear!
As a warrior and as an Ashkar, I was the most powerful of my age. But for all my strength, I failed.
The faithless houses dare to threaten our land, but we shall meet them in battle, and I will lead us to victory.
This is more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. Of course. No, that's not correct. Time. Of course.
Oops, wrong one. That one.
That makes sense.
There you go.
Incarnate, appear!
Must we continue to tolerate this travesty?
To the Nerevarine was a past
Cavern,
blood.
the Outlanders'
But
lies
my
have
love
no
of
place
war
in
was
this
my
world.
undoing. War
These
is
failed
not-
incarnates prove nothing. I need no counsel but my own, as befits my status as the Nerevarine.
Of course. Incarnate, appear!
I refuse to accept the counsel of the wise women and the Ashkans. I thought I knew best. I knew nothing. That is not the way of the Nerevarine.
Arguments have merit. Chodola, we deny your claim. You
This
are
proves
not the
nothing.
Nerevarine.
Haha.
Staff protects me. I am the Nerevarine.
Whoa.
Red exiles,
Brother,
slay
no.
the unbelievers.
Whoa. Okay. These guys are about to get wrecked. Nice. Oh, boss fight.
For the Nerevarine.
Whoa. Kaboom. Alright, follow Saren. Alright, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the episode here. Pretty cool. The Chadala guy who was taking a wave of X power, he has been proven wrong to be like a leader or whatever, the Nerevarine. So he is frustrated with that, and everything is going to shit now, which is freaking awesome. So that is going to wrap up part 7 of the Let's Play for the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, and I will see you guys next time in part 8.